Yeah, that's what happens. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Hadash. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Hadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Hadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Hadash. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day, and eternity utters a day. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom. You might have thought it is 4th of July weekend. It's going to be slow at Shabbat services. And then there is all this beautiful music being made up here. So we are so glad to have you with us and look forward to making beautiful music with all of you. We especially also want to wish a Shabbat Shalom to Rabbi Lexi Erdheim, who is our new associate rabbi, and today is her first day. Yay. And we decided we would let her sit in the congregation on her first day and experience Shabbat with her husband, Charlie, who we also welcome. We are glad that you are here. And their dog, Henry, right? Henry.
But Henry's not here tonight.
Henry's not here. But I'm a dog person. I think it's important to welcome him, too. So we want to take a moment and invite you to turn to the people around you to wish them Shabbat Shalom. If you don't know each other, please introduce yourselves.
Good. She's going. She's doing great.
Okay. All right. And before we turn to the lighting of the Shabbat candles, I want to set the scene for some of the comments that I'm going to share throughout the service. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Korach from the book of Numbers, named after Korach, who incites an Israelite rebellion in the desert against Moses and Aaron's leadership. Their primary complaint is that Moses and Aaron are raising themselves above the people, and they protest, "You have gone too far. For all the community are holy, all of them, and God is in their midst. Why do you raise yourselves above God's congregation?" It seems to me that this is an appropriate Torah portion for this weekend, an Israelite rebellion at a time when we are celebrating the colonial rebellion that resulted in the Declaration of Independence for the United States. Korach's rebellion, as you might know, was less successful than the American rebellion. The ground opened magically and swallowed whole Korach and all the other rebels. On this 4th of July holiday weekend, perhaps the rebellion in Parshat Korach might offer some lessons for us to consider as we think about how our country is living up to the values set almost 250 years ago. We turn to the lighting of Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah limikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu vaharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
At this point in our service, we like to celebrate good things that are happening in our community. We come together to support each other in times of need, but we also come together to celebrate the good things that are happening. So if something good has happened to you since last Shabbat or since you were last with us for Shabbat, we would love for you to raise your hand and tell us about it. It can be a school thing, a work thing, a camp thing, anything that you are feeling celebratory about. Janice.
Ooh,
Mazel
mazel
tov.
tov.
3rd wedding anniversary. Alan.
Woohoo!
Thank you. So we're celebrating new president. I guess we'll also say a Shechianu for Ben Benson and his first day as the former president.
The immediate past president.
Rabbi, your time. That's so nice. You must be working with lovely people. Well, welcome. Anybody else? All right. For all of those things and any other good things that are happening in your life, and for those of us joining us on StreamSpot, anything happening in your lives, we offer a Shechianu, a blessing for thanking God that we have reached this moment in time and are able to celebrate together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
As I shared earlier, Korach and the other rebels challenge Moses' and Aaron's authority, saying, "For all the community are holy, all of them, and God is in their midst. Why do you raise yourselves above God's congregation?" Commentators struggle to understand how this statement alone resulted in such harsh punishment. After all, the Torah tells us that each one of us is holy because God is holy. So it is not surprising that the commentators find themselves creating elaborate explanations for how this statement was considered active rebellion. But I want to leave that aside for a minute and instead invite us as we enter Shabbat to apply their statement to us. All of our community are holy, all of us, and God is in our midst. With the words of Lecha Dodi, we will welcome in the Sabbath bride and set an intention to distinguish Shabbat from the rest of our week. Perhaps one way to do that is to consider this Shabbat our own holiness, to contemplate how we act with holiness and how we reflect to others that God is in our midst. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet ve'li tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mikor haberacha. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. 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 בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayers? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Yadalai lai lai, 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 yadalai lai lai. I'm not really sure there's much greater joy than getting to stand in between two such capable young women in the midst of leading services. If you're in your prayer book, we are about to continue on page 148, and we are going to tonight offer a prayer that I do not, in my memory, recall ever offering in this particular way at Temple Bethel. This prayer is Ma'ariv Aravim, and it acknowledges the beauty of the transition between day and night. It acknowledges this moment of liminality, this in-between space of possibility and of promise. It acknowledges transitions,
And this is a time of transition for our congregation as we welcome Rabbi Erdheim, as we welcome Alan as our president, and transition for so many of us in ways that we know and we see and ways that we carry in our heart. So tonight, as we lead towards Shema, we offer the words of Ma'ariv Aravim together, reading along in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you rise up, and when you rise, and when you rise, that you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and
they shall be for frontlet between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As they crossed the parted sea and sang the words of Mi Chamocha, the Israelites gained liberty, moving from slavery to freedom. As we sing Mi Chamocha tonight, we celebrate the ideals of freedom expressed in our Jewish tradition and the founding documents of our nation. And while we are thankful for the freedoms we have, we also reflect as we sing these words on the freedoms that have been taken away and the freedoms we have yet to experience.
Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
So if the complaint of the rebels regarding the holiness of all people was reasonable, what was their sin? Many commentators suggest it was their motive, that they were rebelling against Moses and Aaron for their own personal gain, rather than the good of the people, that they were seeking their own power rather than advocating for equality across the tribes. This understanding of their rebellion raises up eternal challenges of politics and leadership, balancing what is good for the leader with what is good for those they lead, judging whether the benefit a decision will bring to some is worth the harm it will bring to others, prioritizing the convictions of some above the beliefs of others. These leadership challenges are always present in communities, but many of us have been experiencing them more intensely over the past couple of weeks, watching our government leaders, finding that leaders are lifting up some voices and silencing others, sensing that personal gain is triumphing over community good, feeling threatened by those meant to protect. If this resonates with you, I invite you to hear the words of Hashkivenu in this light, asking for God's protection, praying for a shelter of peace and safety to be spread over those whose rights are threatened.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Lechaim. Lechaim.
After the singing of Vishamru, in a moment, we will continue with the Amidah, the section of our service that is often described as going before God as subjects would go before a king. The Amidah establishes a formula of approaching God with humility and offering praise before asking for things, and then departing from God with words of gratitude. Some commentators understood that the sin of Korach and the other rebels was in their approach. Rather than first raising their concerns to Moses and Aaron with humility and respect, they openly challenge their authority and seek to embarrass them. This view of the rebellion suggests that it is not the substance of their rebellion that was problematic, but their approach. This view does not forbid us to challenge authority, but implies that there are appropriate and inappropriate ways to protest and stand up for our beliefs. The Amidah gives a model of a subject bowing before their ruler. And at the other end of the spectrum, the Torah portion gives us a negative model of rebels ridiculing their leaders. As we absorb the events going on in our country, we might seek to find that middle path, a way to champion our beliefs while still acknowledging the humanity of every person. Continue with Vishamru.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam brit olam. Vishamru Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam brit olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti Bisheshet Yamim Asa Adonai, Asa Adonai. Et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat, la'asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam, ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Lifnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalchel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Nofelim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata lehayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mehaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yechachalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha livarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai Hamivarech et amo Yisrael Bashalom.
Often, when we offer the words of Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction, which we do often on this bima when we're marking moments of celebration and transition, that final blessing asks that God give the individual the blessing of shalom, of peace. And we always, almost always, as we offer that blessing in English, we pray that God gives you this blessing of peace, of shalom, but also of shlemut, of wholeness. So positioned between this prayer for peace, where we pray for shalom, and the prayer for healing, we recognize that shlemut, or a sense of wholeness, is one of the greatest things we can ever hope for in our lives. So we take time to recognize all of the pieces that are broken or hard, where healing is necessary, whether that be of mind, of body, or of spirit, whether the person who could use the healing is a dear friend or a neighbor or us, someone we love, someone far away. We take just a moment to call them into our mind's eye and offer them our prayers for shlemut and for good health and well-being. Our community is currently considering these individuals for health and healing at this time. And if you have others whose names you'd like to share out loud, please do so now. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor haberacha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor haberacha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
As we turn to our concluding prayers, we begin with the words of Aleinu, a prayer that is meant to bring a feeling of hope, a hope that the wonder and beauty that we find in the creation of the world will expand, that a time will come when all can experience wonder and beauty, peace and freedom. We wish that for ourselves. We wish that for our country. We wish it for the world. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kehol hamonam, va'anachnu kore'im, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malkei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, ushemo echad.
You may be seated. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. In our community, we remember in the period of Shloshim those who have died in the last 30 days, Bruce Burpee, David Foster, Heinz Jaffe, and Steve Kaufman. We remember the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Philip Abel, Muncie Abrams, Evelyn Cousins Auslander, Ellie Benadava, Benjamin Benson, Samuel Blumenthal, Abram Brightman, Richard Capano, Milton M. Cohen, Sarah Cohen, Lester Engel, Helen Engel, Gisela Fisher, Alan Friedlander, Samuel Friedman, Charles Goldberg, Benjamin Goodman, Ann Gordon, Henry Greenberg, Sidney Grossman, Irving Hecht, Hermione Hertzfeld, Ronnie Heyman, Stephen Hyman, Terrence Kendrick, Gertrude Connor, Simon Kornblit, Joe Krasner, Eva Lerner, Sylvia Levin, Margaret Lewis, Edgar Lewis, Abraham Lichterman, Leo Lieberman, Rachel Molliver, Dorothy Marinson, Dorothy Miles, Wilford Miles, James Stephen Mills, Lawrence Myers, Manuel Nadelson, Bernard Novick, Gertrude Brasloff Perlmutter, Cecile Redlick, Ralph Rettig, Ida Rosen, Gertrude Schwartz, Enid Sepkowitz, Mayor H. Silverman, Ann Simonoff, Jacob Sosnowitz, Louis Stahl, Dorothy Trodlier, Molly Q. Vygotsky, Cynthia Wallach, Mildred Weinstein, Andrew Otto Wilson Sr., Caroline Yaffe, Alan Zachary, Hyman Zaidman. You are remembering someone this Shabbat. I invite you to share their name out loud with our community. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We rise as one community in solidarity with those who mourn to recite Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen.
You may be seated. We want to share a couple of announcements with you. First, we hope that you will join us next Shabbat. Although we already welcomed her, we are going to welcome her in bigger fashion next Friday. Rabbi Erdheim, we're so glad that you're with us. And next week, we'll have a Shabbat dinner following services to officially welcome Rabbi Erdheim. We encourage you to come join us and to sign up for the Shabbat dinner. On July 19th, which is a Tuesday, there is the second of our social justice small group visioning workshops. We encourage you to register in ShulCloud to attend one of these workshops to really help us imagine what is next for the social justice work of this congregation. We also want to remind you that My Temple Commitment is open and waiting for you, as well as religious school registration. So please register your kids, register your neighbors' kids, register your grandchildren for religious school. Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan wrote a prayer for our country in 1945. And I want to share an excerpt of it on this 4th of July weekend. He titled his prayer, "That America Fulfill the Promise of its Founding." May America remain loyal to the principles of the Declaration of Independence and extend their application to ever-widening areas of life. Keep out of our life all manner of oppression, persecution, and unjust discrimination. Save us from religious, racial, and class conflicts. May our country be a haven of refuge to the victims of injustice and misrule. Instruct us in the art of living together, of reconciling differences of opinion and averting clashes of interest, of helping one another to achieve a harmonious and abundant life. Give us the wisdom to elect a leadership capable, conscientious people of integrity who will govern our people according to your laws of righteousness. Bless the enterprise of the American people, that they may utilize the natural resources of the land for the highest good of all the world. Amen.
Amen.
We invite you to rise.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
A pleasure.
Beautiful words as always.
Thank you. I have to reschedule Wednesday because we just got a meeting scheduled.
Okay. Well, good thing I'm here for many
Yes.
more weeks.
So maybe tomorrow morning I'll try to catch you.
Sure.
We'll reschedule.
Sure.
I know. How many can there be? Over and over.
I played it, like I played my chords. This isn't the rhythm I need to do.
Thank you, Rebecca. Oh, you're not going. Okay. I wanted to say one thing.
Zach, Shabbat Shalom.
I wanted to offer a word.